Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Auto Transport Intel. It is Wednesday. It is noon Central Time. That means it is time for DOT Compliance, where we've got your DOT guy, Brian Riker, answering questions live. We're going to be live for 30 minutes. So here's what I want you to do. Do me a favor. After you leave a like, go ahead and share this link. Click share, click copy. Grab the YouTube link, text it, email it, share it on social media. Send it to a friend that's got questions and they're barking up, having to maybe hire somebody and talk to an expert. This is an opportunity to get free advice live right now. And if you miss the show, you can put the comments below in the YouTube comments. Now, this is just a run through, a light run through. If you've got deep, burning questions, go to autotransportintel.com, click on sign up, get on the ATI Insider. If you need more time with Brian, we'll put you in touch with him. He does have a company, he does consultations, so we want to help. And also, please do say hello in the live chat. Jump in the live chat, post your questions, and share your thoughts. We got Mike in here. What's going on, Mike? Thanks for saying hello. Two Bears Transportation, that's David. David, thanks so much for saying hello. And Chris is here too. Now, guys, we're going to get to the ELD question in the live chat. But first, we promised that we would get to a couple that we got. You see the email address? Oh, yeah, you see it on air at YourDOTGuy.com. Go ahead and send an email. That's the fastest way to contact Brian outside of the show. The fastest way is right here, live on DOT Compliance every Wednesday. So let's go to Brian. Brian, can you see me and hear me okay?
Yes, I can, Jay. Good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm standing outside in the sunshine, enjoying it down here in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Oh, great. All right. Well, look, yes, we've got a sunny day here in Kansas City. We have sun all around, hopefully, right? Hopefully we're out of that winter stuff.
I sure hope so. I really do.
So. Right. And we get back to nobody's wearing a mask here.
Yeah. I was in Florida for every week for the last month here, and it's amazing down there. It's like business as usual. It's kind of refreshing.
Truth told is I went to a like a quick trip, like a gas station, and I went in to get a snack, and nobody was wearing a mask. I just took my mask off. I was like, oh my God, it's life again.
Freedom.
Wow. What a feeling.
Yes.
Right? And I just said that live on YouTube. FBI, open up. No, I got a show going on. All right.
So the haters will be here soon.
Canceled. Okay. We have some stuff to get to. Let's get to some business. Yes, Jay, we know you've got buzzers and bells. Okay, here we go. So, all right, so I'm going to share my screen. Okay. We know that the word is out. I bet you can't stump your DOT guy, Brian. Thank you, David.
Yes.
So let's see if we can stump him. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Now, you can't read this. This is really weird. Me and Sue were searching the load board Thursday. Somebody posted a 2015 Motorhome needs a hot shot. Let me give you the dimensions of this thing. Let me know if you think this will fit on hot shot trailer. 23 foot by 8.5 by 9, 10,500 pounds.
We're good on the weight. We're almost good on the length if it's a drop deck or gooseneck hot shot. But a 23-foot well on a true double drop, that's big truck territory. But the 9-foot tall, that concerns me because you're getting pretty close to statutory height of 13.6, putting that on your average single drop trailer. And 10,000 pounds, well, depends. CDL hot shot hauler, he could haul that probably, but that better be paying a premium because that's a whole truckload in of itself with that RV.
And that's what's funny. No, I wouldn't book this. No. I mean, on the money alone, it's paying $2 a mile. Dude.
Not enough.
No, you can get a sedan for $1 a mile right now.
Yeah. No,
Motorhome,
no.
$10 a mile. I mean, anyway, so thanks for your take on that. I just wasn't sure. I couldn't believe it. It seemed pretty strange to me.
It's pushing it. You'd have to have just the right trailer to haul that.
And then when they say needs hot shot, who made this decision?
Yeah.
And why?
Not to mention, depending upon, does it run well enough? Do you have extended length ramps? Because RVs tend to have ground clearance issues when you're going up and over the ramp on the back of a trailer. I loaded plenty of them onto Landau type traveling axle trailers in my earlier career as a tow operator, and motorhomes, even the towing world hates them. They just suck.
So anyways, not a comment on the broker or the shipper, but it was posted, and I thought, you know what? And how interesting is that? Wow. So wait a minute. What if we had your DOT guy commenting on some of these loads? Like, whoa, man, what a crazy opportunity. So
yes, so some people put loads together that make no sense because you can't legally put them on the truck they want to put them on.
we're going to be revisiting this topic. I see an opportunity. Okay, Brian. I hope this email finds you well. My husband and I are looking to get started in the trucking car hauling business. We already have our MC number. We've searched the internet up and down and have received very conflicting information, no doubt. So when we found Auto Transport Intel and all the videos with you answering questions, it was a godsend. So we have a few questions to ask. We hope you can assist us. My husband will be doing the driving, and he's non-CDL. All right, we got 4 points here. Now, you know this email, so that's good. Number 1, what's the best truck for car hauling? We're looking at a Ford F350 chassis dually, 2020, 2021. But I've heard that the Ram 3500 might be better.
All right.
Do you want to go point by point?
Yeah, let's do point by point on this.
Okay. All right, perfect.
Point number 1, they're both adequate trucks for what you're going to do, non-CDL, provided that you're not going to try to push your weight on them or anything. My advice, I try to stay brand neutral, especially working with a dealership that sells every brand out there. My advice normally is pick the one that has the best service network where you're based out of or where you're going to run regularly. Go for the best service network because downtime is a killer for business. And I don't care if it's brand new or if it's 20 years old, it's going to have downtime. So they have almost identical ratings. Some people are argue over the Aisin transmission's better than the Ford transmission, or the Cummins is better than the Ford motor. That all comes down to personal preference. We sell them all for the little tow truck end, and they all come back with about the same type of problems in about the same time frame. So pick the service network that supports you best where you live and where you're going to run.
And anybody that's down right now knows this all too well.
Yes.
No ticky, no washy.
Yes, yes.
All right, canceled. Okay, next. It's a joke. I always thought it was kind of funny. Okay, here we go. All right. What? Just totally wrong. All right, number 2. I already ordered a 3-car trailer with Kaufman. In order to be under $26,000, what number should Kaufman derate the trailer to?
Generally, it's derated to 12,000 pounds for non-CDL purposes because most of your pickup truck or cabin chassis in the 350, 3,500, 4,500 range have a gross vehicle weight rating of 14,000 pounds. So again, you have to have the truck and the trailer cannot add up to more than 26,000 pounds exactly weight rating. I'm not talking about actual weight. That comes into play later. But for the purposes of speccing and building your trailer and speccing and building your truck, you need the gross vehicle weight rating as declared in the door sticker of the truck and gross vehicle weight rating of the trailer as declared on the nose of your trailer on the decal there to add up to no more than 26,000 pounds exactly. That keeps you out of CDL territory, and that also keeps you out of apportioned registration and fuel taxes. So you have to look at the truck you choose. You can't spec the trailer weight rating until you already know which truck you're ordering to make sure that they work together. And I've had customers caught with a difference as little as 200 pounds when they replaced the trailer after an accident and didn't realize that Now that and their existing truck added up to 26,200 pounds, and that was an out of service and no CDL citation that cost quite a bit to fix.
Brutal. That's the name of the officer, Officer Brutal. Okay. I think we've got that was 2 and 3 together. So here's the last.
Let me elaborate a little bit, because I was waiting for point 3.
Oh,
point
good.
3. Point 3 was asking about, do we have to stay under 26,000 with the truck, trailer, and the load?
Yes.
The short answer is yes. They look for a commercial driver's license. And again, this advice, I don't know what state they're based in. I think they said New York. So this advice fits New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, because I know their driver's license qualifications. There are a handful of states out there that the information we're giving you is not applicable to if you're a resident of that state, because they have a different lower threshold for what is CDL. I don't want to get the hate mail that I got it wrong. We're all aware California looks at, if you're a California resident with a California driver's license, all they look at is that weight of the trailer, period. Over 10,000, you're a Class A. So to answer point 3 here, yes, to stay non-CDL, non-apportioned, non-IFTA, you need to make sure that your weight ratings stay at or below 26,000 pounds, and your actual physical weight stays at or below 26,000 pounds. Then there's one more part they look at. They look at what the truck and trailer are rated for. They look at what they're registered for to make sure you don't exceed either of those ratings. They look at what you're licensed for on your driver's license to make sure that you can drive what you are driving legally. Then they look at your individual tire weight rating. Stamped into the sidewall of the tire is a weight rating for that tire in either single configuration, like on your steering axle, or dual configuration, like on the drive axle of a dually truck. And then they look at what the individual axle is rated for, because in the door of your truck or on the nose of your trailer, there'll be an individual axle weight rating as well. None of those numbers can be exceeded. So it's not as simple as saying, well, I've got 9,000 pounds worth of cars, I can park them anywhere on my 48-foot or 53-foot of trailer. No, that's not true. You may have to nose one on and back another one on so that the weight shifts around, that you don't overload any one of those components. I just wanted to give a more complete answer to the gross vehicle weight rating versus actual weight.
Fantastic. Thank you, Brian. And then we do have point 4, which includes the question about the medical card.
Mm-hmm.
Does he need a medical card?
Yes. If you're engaging in interstate commerce, you need a medical card to operate any vehicle greater than 10,000 pounds gross vehicle weight rating. So a little Ford 250 pickup truck, if you're using it for an interstate commerce function, a business function, you need that medical card. So if I had an F-250 that I had a towing company and I sent it out to go do jump starts and tire changes, that F-250 has an 11,000 pound gross vehicle weight rating. I need a 21-year-old driver with a medical card to drive that truck. So yes, you need a medical card. There's a handful of states, again, that are a little bit different. If you stay wholly within their borders, they don't regulate you as a commercial vehicle until you are in excess of 26,000 pounds. And so then in those handful of states, if you stay a true intrastate carrier, never handle interstate commerce, you don't need a medical card. I give advice as if you're going to be an interstate carrier, because that's what 99% of our audience is. And if you comply to the interstate rule, they're generally always more stringent than the in-state rule. You'll be safe, same with hours of service and all of that. But short answer, yes, they need a medical card to operate that combination.
Well, thank you, Brian. Yeah, it seems like that medical card is pretty kind of beginning level stuff, like near the beginning of what you need to do.
Absolutely. You need it to drive almost anything. If you're a plumber and they talk about being in New York City area. Well, if they're a plumber that lives over in Ridgefield Park and crosses into New York City to do work, or goes up to Connecticut to do work, and they're in that truck greater than 10,000 pounds, they are an interstate motor carrier, whether they realize it or not. So it's not just somebody that's hauling for hire. You can be a private fleet and your driver still needs to be qualified. You can be an electrician by trade and need to have a medical card, possibly even a CDL in your pocket to do your job. The driving's just incidental to what you do, but you still have to be fully qualified.
Excellent point. Switching gears, okay, so in the beginning when we got here, Two Bears Transportation, he thinks he's got the stumper. Ready? My neighbor does local car hauling, no ELD. He's got a 7-car and a 9-car, but also has a tow truck to grab singles, but runs it around town with no numbers. Is that legal?
What state are you in, Dave? I should know because you're a customer of mine, but what state are you in? Because in some states, tow trucks are not required to have numbers if they stay local. Now, that said, just because he's using the tow truck, physically using a tow truck, it may not be qualified under the tow truck exemption to pick a car up and bring it back to his yard and build that bigger load. That he may possibly need numbers. I need more details to give you a definite answer. So if you want to call that a stumper, go for it. But as far as running around local with no ELD, well, as long as you stay within your 150 air mile radius of your normal work reporting location, leave from and return to that same location within 14 hours. This is going to sound a little confusing because it used to be 100 and it used to be 12, but they made the CDL and non-CDL short haul rule the same now, basically. Leave from...
Uh-oh, technical difficulty. We lost Brian's audio. So we'll see if we can get that fixed up. Hey, Brian. No audio. So,
okay, how about now?
Yeah, there we go. We got audio. Yeah.
Anything?
Yeah. Good. We hear you.
I hear you.
Okay, that's okay, but I can hear
got
you.
you.
Okay, all right,
I got
cool.
you.
All right, keep
so
going.
Where did you lose me on my beautiful rant?
Well, I'll tell you what. Here, good news. We got Mississippi. So he's
Okay.
in Mississippi, and then yeah.
You got your stumper on the local use of a tow truck because I don't know Mississippi's tow truck laws. I'll have to look that one up. So you got your stumper there.
He got his
But
stumper.
In general, the other half of that question, ELD, if you stay compliant with the short haul exception to a logbook, you don't ever need an ELD. So 150 air miles, leave from, return to the same place every day, for no more than 14 hours, you're relieved of duty. Then your logbook and ELD exempt. You just need a time card record, which can be handwritten, stored at your principal place of business.
And as a continuation, I put the link to the FMCSA website with ELD exemption rules. Better safe than sorry. I would say get your medical card and don't assume you're exempt.
No.
Right. Right.
I agree.
Great question, Two Bears. Okay, I spoke to a hauler out of PA. Says he's running under 100 miles and not using ELD or logbooks. He has a cabin chassis with a 3-car trailer.
Okay. So if he's in Pennsylvania, we follow the federal regulations. That's my home state, but we follow federal regulations. So he will only need a logbook or an ELD if he does not meet the federal exception. So if he stays under 150 air mile radius, leave from and return to the same place within 14 hours, he's good. Now, if occasionally he exceeds that, he can use paper, and so can anyone else, for up to 8 times in any 30-day period. So if he ends up with an overnight trip or a trip that's just beyond the 150 air mile radius, he does a paper log for that day till he returns back to his normal point, and then he can go back to his exemption.
I just want to say hello to everybody else in the live chat. We were doing some catch up earlier. Thank you, John. Thank you, Chris, David, Fast Eddie Transport. What's up? Carlos Braxton, ACB Logistics is here. Ty is in the live chat. And BM says hello. And also, who's going to be in Kansas City? Oh, David of Two Bears is going to be in Overland Park, Kansas Monday. Ty might try to hook up, get some photos. Fantastic. Okay.
Cool.
That is really cool. Okay, so we got Mike. Mike had a question. Here we go. I got a level 1 inspection while empty. Truck plates are New York. Trailer is Maine. Was asked if I own property in Maine. I said no. Received a violation for unregistered trailer. Was told next time to say yes to avoid an issue. Can I get this violation removed? I'm fairly new, new numbers with a clean level 1, level 2 already, and I'm mad. I was not put out of service, did not receive a ticket, just a violation. But they did give me the magic sticker for the truck and the trailer.
Okay. Well, I don't know why they would give you a magic sticker for the trailer if they said it was unregistered. Did this happen in the state of New York? That's an important distinction here. Because if you have New York base plates on your truck and you are a New York resident or your motor carrier is a New York business, New York does not allow you to use out-of-state license plates on trailers you own unless you also have a business presence in that state that the trailer is registered in. They're trying to collect their pound of flesh for King Cuomo. And so it would either have to be a trailer that is leased from another company's trailer that you're just hauling, or you would need a business presence in the state of Maine to make that truck and trailer combination legal if you're a New York state-based business or a New York resident.
And yes, he was in New York at the time.
I bet you he probably was somewhere along the Interstate 84, Interstate 87 corridor, probably in Orange County, Newburgh, that area, because that seems to be the only area that I'm seeing this warning come from. There's a handful of officers there that like to write this warning.
Officer Brutal Cuomo at your service. Okay. All right. That's the second cancellation in one show. Let's do this. And Mike, if you've got further questions for Ryan.
Yeah, to finish answering his question,
Yeah.
No, there's nothing you can do to data queue it, because if you're a New York-based business, it's a legitimate, it'd be under violation of local law is probably how he wrote it. And so it would be a legitimate violation of New York State vehicle and traffic law. So there is no data queue challenge to get it removed, unfortunately.
And if you are on the podcast, fleetcompliancesolutions.net is Brian's website. You can also go to YourDOTGuy.com. Contact Brian 570-228-6210. He's an industry expert and consultant, and he wants to help you stay clean with DOT compliance. Let's do I don't think we have any new questions at the moment, and that is cool. Ty says he loves you. I do too. Thank you, Ty. Let's do. We've got. Oh, okay, so we had another. Getting back to some of that beginner stuff. What trailer car haulers for private use with F450 no CDLs?
Yes, that question, I don't have enough information to give a complete answer, but it'll fall under the same answer we gave at the top of the show with truck and trailer gross combined weight ratings are important. Stay under 26,000 pounds between truck and trailer. Private use or commercial use, if you're hauling cars, does not matter unless it is truly a private use, like you're moving your own personal hot rod and you're not showing it for money, taking it to the racetrack and competing for prize money. You don't have sponsorship. You're not in the business of buying and selling collector cars. Then it's whatever your particular state has for licensing requirements to use a truck and trailer. Some states allow you to take a big Class A motorhome and put a trailer behind it and weigh 80,000 pounds. But when you say private in this context, I'm assuming you're a private dealer or something like that, not a for-hire motor carrier. All the rules are exactly the same. The only difference is you don't need operating authority if you're a not-for-hire or a private motor carrier of property.
So Mike has a follow-up on the New York, Maine truck trailer. Okay, he says, I'm moving to Florida next month. Can I change everything for DOT or do I need a new number?
You can change. There's a $80 fee paid to the DOT to update your registration to your new address. So once you get established and have a physical address, you'll need to make sure you notify your insurance company that you're going to be based out of Florida, because it may make your insurance premium go up or down, and it will definitely affect your coverage, because even if you have an unlimited mileage policy, they still have a declared domicile or garaging location for your trucks and your business. So let your insurance company know where you're moving, and then it's an online filing. You can do it yourself, or I can help. It's $80 fee payable to FMCSA. I charge a couple bucks for my time if I do it, and we can update your address to show your new address in Florida. And then if you plan on still coming up to the Northeast, you'll just need to update your address with New York Oscar for your New York HUT credentials, whatever other states you might have special credentials in, and then you can re-register your truck in Florida. I do not know how Florida accepts Maine trailer plates, so you'll have to look into that to see if that combination is legal, to just put a Florida plate on your truck and keep the trailer registered in Maine. Or maybe Florida offers a lifetime plate. I do not know, like my home state of Pennsylvania does, and then you just register it down there and don't have any trouble.
And I think I found a link to the FMCSA website, which I put in the live chat. Hopefully that's correct, but I think it is. I Googled it. And also, BM says, oh boy, get ready for that insurance hike.
He may have an insurance hike. New York's a bad state to be based in, but so is Florida, especially depending upon where you're going to be domiciled in Florida, because they look at factors such as number of crashes, severity of loss for the area you're in. They also look at theft rates and other factors, potential storm damage. It all depends upon the type of coverage you have on your vehicle. So yes, you may notice an insurance increase moving to Florida. It may not save you any money.
We just have a few minutes left. David at Two Bears, what about a cracked windshield if it's on the passenger side on the Peterbilt? Can I get a violation for a crack? Just not going to the shop to get it fixed.
There is a criteria for it being out of the sweep of the wipers, out of the driver's direct line of sight. So it depends upon exactly where that crack is. Most officers aren't going to give you a hard time about the one on the passenger side, but if it's within the swipe of the wiper, they may be able to. Some of them will write it as a state law violation. Some will write it as a federal violation. There's a critical area of a 5-inch by 8-inch window directly in front of your eyes on the driver's side that'll be a definite violation, possibly even get it fixed on the spot with a mobile glass guy. Cracks elsewhere, you'd have to read the criteria and look at a picture of the crack to tell you exactly where it fits in.
Man, very, very specific. Thank you, Brian, for that specific information. Guys, it is 12:28. We just have a couple minutes left. Let's just do this. Let's go through, see if there's anything else pressing in the news, because we keep kicking the can on these topics. Oh, in fact, yeah, Jim had mentioned in the YouTube comments, he'd love to see us cover CDL versus non-CDL. And I was kind of thinking, I think we'd kind of touch upon that each show.
Yes, and today's show really covered the difference between CDL and non-CDL, unless he's got a specific question in there.
Right.
Ultimately, CDL is probably the goal you want to work towards, unless you stay in a very small niche market. CDL just opens up greater weights, opportunities to have larger equipment, less hassle. As soon as they see you have that apportioned registration, the fuel decal, and that CDL in your hand, they don't seem to look quite as hard at you, because now you got a little more room to play with weights. You can have a little bit bigger of a trailer. But again, it comes down to your business model, and does it make sense for you?
Let's go to, let's see. IRS issues temporary increase to meal deduction. Did we cover that?
No, we did not. I think we were planning on it last week. This is a great one for owner-operators. Does not apply to company drivers, but if you are an owner-operator, you now can deduct 100% of your actual meal expenses, provided that the meal was purchased in a restaurant. Or it could be a fast food restaurant, but it has to be a restaurant. Food you buy to prepare yourself at the grocery store, food bought over the counter at a gas station, that does not count. I imagine that probably includes the pizza and the corn dogs at the Pilot, but that's not really food anyhow. Anyhow, they temporarily for 2 years increased the instead of being 80% of their magic number, it is now 100% of actual expenses. There's no determination whether you need to maintain receipts to prove actual expenses, but I would always maintain the receipts to prove the actual expense just in case.
Great. Yeah, I mean, meals really add up.
Yes, they do.
I'm always irritated when I can't count either 100%. I mean, anyways. All right, moving on. Yes, Jay, we know. Insurance Act back and as poisonous as ever.
Oh, let's end on this one so it doesn't get my blood pressure up. Representative Chuy Garcia from Illinois has reintroduced his standalone bill, the Insurance Act, that when introduced in last Congress was aiming to make our minimum liability go from $750,000 for general freight, $1 million for car haulers, to nearly $5 million, a almost 300% increase. And it's completely unnecessary because the Department of Transportation's own research department, the Volpe Transportation Center, has determined that in truck-involved crashes, 99.4% of the time, the $750,000 minimum level is more than adequate to make whole all the injured parties. And in fact, when we go up to the $1 million that most carriers have, that drops down to 0.03% of truck-involved crashes exceed $1 million to settle the claim, with the average truck-involved crash settling for $18,000. Not to mention that the DOT's own research shows that in 67% of truck-involved crashes, the truck driver did not contribute to the crash in any way whatsoever. And when we look at a more detailed who received a citation or not, even when the truck driver did contribute to cause, in 78% of truck-involved crashes, the truck driver was not cited, and the numbers are inverse to that the car driver was. So this is really a money grab by trial lawyers, and it is going to do nothing to improve safety. Higher insurance premiums do not correlate to safety. And in fact, it's going to take a lot of the most safe drivers off the road, because the small one truck owner operator that really has a reason to be safe, because his whole life, his house, his livelihood, everything is riding on him being safe. It's not just wreck the truck and get another job tomorrow. They're going to be priced out of the market. And ironically, and I'll close with this, Chuy Garcia, the sponsor of the Insurance Act bill, not to be confused with the insurance increase to $2 million they're trying to put in the new highway bill, but Representative Garcia from Illinois had just put a letter out saying that the 10% increase that was mandated in the FAST Act of 2015 for commuter railroads to increase their insurance minimum by 10% is going to put them out of business. It's too expensive. But he wants to impose a 300% increase on motor carriers. What universe does that make sense in?
Amazing. It really is amazing. And I appreciate
Sorry, I got a little hot there.
Well, yeah, no, we appreciate that. Thank you for your passion, your information. And guys, if you missed the show, put it in the comments below. Let your friends know we're here Wednesdays at noon, and we want to help. We want to help the owner-operators stay on the road, stay compliant, and stay in business. Brian, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you, everybody. See you next Wednesday.
We'll see you next week. Peace out, everybody. Take care. And roll 'em.